Okay, we are starting a new unit this week, and my button isn't showing up here. Not sure why. I'm going to try to refresh. There it goes. We're in Biology Basics. You're going to click there. Notice the dates. I have e-lessons, and there should be a button here. It was working earlier. And this is your assessment. So right now, I'm saying that we will take our test for this unit on September 16th. That may change if I see that we work through the unit more quickly. So we're going to click here in eLessons. We're working right here for the first few days of this week, classifying life. There are 4 lessons that you'll have a unit test on. Each lesson will have a quiz. So we're going to start with classifying life. You're going to click on that. And notice I changed that here's what you're going to do for Monday. So these are the 3 things you will do for today. I've put the slideshow of what I'm going to talk about, and I'll put the video here. Here's Tuesday. Here's Wednesday. I had planned on something to be done on Thursday, but I may remove that. We seem to be moving through it quicker than I thought. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on discussion question, and you are going to think about what makes something alive. Now, you wouldn't be able to actually see what they write on your screen because I am in teacher view. But you're going to need to tell me, in your opinion, what you think makes something alive in 3 sentences. Then you respond to another person's post and to get your full credit. And it needs to be more than just that's cool or anything like that. You need to make a good comment to get your full credit. Click on the yellow back arrow. You're going to read this article. You may want to listen to the video or look through the PowerPoint as well. So you're going to click on this. This is a text box entry. So remember, for a text box entry, you have to click up here for submit assignment. You will still see this, but you get your text box. You're going to start with page 3 right here, and you're going to answer at the end of this. There are 5 questions right here that you're going to answer. You do not have to type the question. You type the answer in the text box. You will, once you type the answer in the text box, there'll be a submit down here. You click submit. You will go back to this page, and then you will watch the Edpuzzle video. And you will click here. And remember, mine will look different than yours. And you will watch the video, and I can tell who's opened it and who's finished it or partway through it and so forth. Remember, it asks questions as you go along. When you're finished, you click back, and you are finished for today. These next items, for those that are working at home, if you want to work ahead, you can. But for Tuesday, there are 2 items. I will probably add a Quizlet review here. And then Wednesday, you'll take a quiz and you will start in on the next lesson. And then I'm going to delete Thursday from here. So once we get through Wednesday, you will click back here and you will move into the next set of lessons. The PowerPoint. So I'm going to go in and talk through it. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to attempt to present it. Um, Characteristics of life. So scientists kind of don't always agree on what makes up life. one characteristic. There's just not one characteristic that tells you if something is alive or not alive. There's a list, and we're going to go over 7 of them. The first one is you have to be made up of cells to be considered living, at least one cell. And organisms are diverse because of all, especially multicellular, all the different cells that make them up, but they're all similar on the cellular level. There's basic structures in a single cell. If you look over here, there's levels of organization within organisms. You've got your um, molecules, atoms. Atoms come together and make molecules. Molecules come together and make cells. Cells come together and make tissues. Tissues make organs. Organs make organ systems. And then you have the organism. So there's levels of organization that starts at the level of atoms. The second thing is respond to stimuli. If you're living, you always respond to stimuli that's in the environment. Here's a good example. If you grow plants, they're going to grow toward light. If you have the sun comes in one window of your house, your plants are going to lean and grow toward that light. So that's responding to stimuli. You respond to the stimuli of cold by shivering. You respond by heat, by sweating. So those, if you're living, you will respond to stimuli that are in the environment. There are adaptations that living things have. Many of them are inherited. It's an advantage for the organism, and it improves their likelihood of survival. And I have 3 examples here. We've got camouflage, so it helps this organism be able to hide from predators. Camels here are adapted several things. They've got large flat feet to help them walk in sand. Their fur provides shade for them, and and there's thin fur other places. They have a way to store water, so it makes them well adapted for the desert. Cacti also adapted for the desert. They have a waxy skin to reduce loss of water. They have fleshy stems to store the water, thorns and spiky or glossy leaves to help reduce water loss. So, adaptations, there are some examples. Reproduction. If you're living, you have to have a way to reproduce a new generation of your organism. Asexual reproduction, it usually is a lot of single celled organisms, but some fungi also reproduce like that. Um, More multicellular organisms require 2 parents to produce offspring. So here's an example of budding. So this organism here grows a copy of itself and then it releases it. Here's an example of slime mold life cycle. It has an asexual and a sexual part of it. Here's an example of a fly laying eggs for the sexual example. All living things will grow and change or develop over time. So even unicellular organisms grow. If you look here, they divide, they grow, and they develop because here they is getting flagella. For multicellular, you have some type of life cycle where for example, frogs, eggs are laid, they have tadpoles metamorph into the frog, and it creates the life cycle there. Humans, we have from baby all the way to adult. Complex chemistry, a lot of times you'll see this as need for energy. We have chemical reactions that are taking place constantly in our body. We call this metabolism. We've got to have this energy, and our body has to do these chemical reactions for us to stay alive. Maintain homeostasis. Our internal environment needs to stay constant, it has to stay within a certain range. If temperature outside gets too hot, we sweat to keep our bodies cool, to keep that internal environment the same. pH is the same. Our pH Our cells will function in a certain pH range. If it gets too high or too low, then our body will no longer be able to function. So, maintaining homeostasis is important. So, those are the 7 characteristics of life. So, you're going to now come here and you're going to make sure that you have done the discussion, do the reading, do the Ed Puzzle video for Monday. There may not be a video for Tuesday because it all works along here. This will probably be the video for the week. As I said before, I'll add a Quizlet right here.